The perfect platform is the one you create for yourself. And I realized this the moment I started leaning in on LinkedIn. New discoveries started to happen in my mind from a larger perspective about it being so much more important that you work on your authentic confidence than you work on verbalizing the place of employment that you work at. And while where you work, the experience that you're getting right now, while that does matter, it is so much more important for you to be very clear on who you are in this season and feel confident personally and professionally. So let's jump right in. If this is your first time tuning into the Create and Grow Your Dream Business podcast, I'm always excited to have you. My name is Breye'l Banks, and I created this platform because just like we're talking about in this episode today, you want to know how to build your confidence. And building is actually the concept that is fairly masculine, but I'm going to help expand your mind today so that we can put some feminine energy on it, because we're always creating and growing our business, right? Whether we work for someone else or whether you are a full-time entrepreneur, it's always the creation and growth of your business, what it is that you're doing that is amazing. But let's be honest, right? Most of us have to work our 9 to 5 or a 9 to 5 at some period in your life. And while it is very important for you to make sure that you are mapping out that experience, because what happens if they pull the rug from up under you and now you're left to figure out, well, what am I supposed to do now, right? You should always be mapping out that experience while you work there. But let's talk about the build. Right? So the divine message came to me because I'm inside of a space right now where I'm growing the marketing piece of queenhood. And recently I was offered the opportunity to do 40 commercials on the radio. So exciting, right? And so while that is a manifestation that I am really looking forward to, it really had me thinking about the build that it takes on the confidence realm to really have the manifestation come forth, right? So now, of course, my mind was going with thoughts about, okay, so like, am I going to do a catchy theme song, or like, what am I going to say? The radio station Cumulus, which is like an overall branching media opportunity, and they host to 5 different radio stations locally here in Savannah, South Georgia area. And of course, once the opportunity came about with Cumulus, they started speaking with me about, having a website and having a business set a particular type of way so that way we could funnel the people who hear the commercial indirectly to the business, right? The opportunity then started to make my mind grow and expand about what it is that I truly wanted. So making this video right now, we're at the end of May, but I wrote and manifested that I would be on the radio back in August of the previous year. And what is so interesting is that sometimes when you're building out your dream business, when you're building out your authentic confidence, what happens is that in the midst of getting to where it is that you truly want to be, you get small experiences that help you lean in, right, to what it is that you say that it is that you truly want. But what happens is you're always going to be met with the opportunity to take radical action. See, what it is that you want is on the opposite side of the woman that you're becoming. But you have to be clear with yourself and really constantly ask yourself, am I showing up authentically confident as the person that I want to be? Right? And it sounds so vague, but it's as simple as, let me take you deeper into the scenario with myself in reference to how I build my confidence. So at first, when they started to talk to me about the website and they gave me a quote about the amount, my mind started going towards, okay, what am I going to do to make this investment? Do I really even need this investment in particular? But what really helped me release was recognizing that I've already been doing business without a website. And the people that I really look forward to working with to help me expand my business even the more, just watched one of her videos the other day, and she was like, you really don't even need that. And that's the truth, right? See, sometimes when you are ready to build your business and your eyes are too focused on how someone else has built their business, you start to have analysis paralysis. And so you can't then move forward in any way because you're stuck in the brain about thinking things should be done a particular type of way because that's how you've seen success in someone else's book. But see, it's my job to boost your personal and professional confidence when you come inside of the Business Confidence Academy in Queenhood to help you remember and recognize that you only can build your confidence with your bricks, with your gifts, with your skills, with your talents, right? And those bricks in real life look like the thought processes that you think when you're faced with opportunities to release a negative thought that you're having about what could happen and to actually just put one foot in front of the next and start to really just move forward with some action, but confidently. So let's talk about the action piece of it, right? In this realm where we're talking about building our confidence, building your confidence, the action could simply be, for you to do the things that you know you're supposed to be doing. See, I can go into so many examples in the business realm, right, of what your one step of action could be. But then we'll be on this podcast episode forever. So just know that you know what you're supposed to be doing. The same way it's easy to point out what everybody else is supposed to be doing. But let me remind you that this life that we live, we're all just mirrors. And so while we see what can be fixed in others, while we see what helps others shine, while we see people showing up in their light, the only way you'll show up in your light and start to build your confidence is if you're willing to now get into alignment with people, community, right? Inside the Business Confidence Academy, community that helps you start to work on your confidence consistency process, meaning you just consistently being inside of a space where you show up confident. Here's the interesting part about your brain from a neurological perspective, because I don't want you to think that you're so like abstract or rare that your situation is different from others in reference to you. The only way you really grow forward is to work on your personal and professional confidence, right? So let's just talk about this process for a second with your brain. Your brain is like a swimming pool, right? And if that pool has dirty water inside of it and the filtration system is not working to pump clean, crystal clear water inside of it, special shout out to Bob Proctor for this thought process, the pool is still going to have dirty water inside of it. The filtration system is community. As women, the filtration system is people supporting you with what it is that you say that you really want to become, who it is that you say you really want to become, right? Because again, the build would can only happen if you're not growing, you're dying. If it's not building, it's demolishing, right? It was so beautiful as we wrap up this podcast episode is that you have the ability to build with beautiful, unique bricks that are yours to showcase and share with the world because you want that. You want to create and grow your dream business while you're at your job, or if entrepreneurship is already your full-time job, you already know and feel how important it is for you to work on yourself, because you know when you pour into yourself, you pour into others. So don't forget, ladies, grab your Extraordinary Business Growth Bundle. Today's podcast episode was focusing in on chapter 5, and I want you to lean into your confidence consistency process. And if you know that you're ready to take this a layer deeper, then it sounds like it might be time for you to apply to get into our next cohort in the Business Confidence Academy. So until next time, Queen, I know that confidence is exactly what you need. It's just your opportunity to start working on it now. Talk to you later.